What is up? It's NFL Week 8. I'm Ryan Weisse, and this is Club Fantasy's Thrive Top 5. If this is your first time joining us, what took you so long? Just kidding. Glad you're here. If you're not familiar with Thrive Fantasy, check the link in the description. They will match your opening deposit up to $100 if you use our link or our promo code CLUB, CLUB. And Thrive is an excellent combination of player props and DFS. There's a main slate type action where you can choose from 20 player props and you're awarded points based on how likely they are to happen. At the end of the week, whoever has the most points wins the pot. Very similar to DFS. But they also have something called the prop lobby, and that's what this video is all about. In the prop lobby, you can combine player props of combinations of 2, 3, or 4 players, and they multiply your money based on how many players you pick, but everything has to be right. Normally, if you do a 2-player prop, it is 3.6 times your money. If you do a 3-player prop, 6.1 times your money, and a 4-player prop is 11 times your money. Last week on our top 5, we hit 3 of 5. We had absolute smashes with Damian Harris, but unfortunately we put our faith in Mike Davis, and that is never a good idea, as the Atlanta Falcons can tell you, and he let us down as well. But 3 out of 5 still paid you about 6 times your money. Along with our promo code, Thrive is actually running a special this week where 2-player props are now paying 4 times your money, 3-player props are 7 times your money, and 4-player props are 12 times your money. So if you hit 4 of 4, you throw $5 in there, that's $60. There's a lot of really cool ways to make games interesting like this. I told a story last week where they mentioned that the San Francisco-Indianapolis game was going to have bad weather. I went in and put a 3-player prop together with both quarterbacks under 200 yards and Jonathan Taylor over 60 yards. Easiest money I ever made there. So very cool things you can do with Thrive. Check our link. For the DFS slate, our writer Chris Molina puts out an article every week of his top 5 props from the main slate. So we're giving you 5 props in the main slate, and I'm about to give you my 5 favorite in the prop lobby. So let's jump into it. My favorite prop this week is Michael Pittman taking on the Tennessee Titans over 64 receiving yards. Tennessee allows 226 yards to the receiver every week. 13 wide receivers against Tennessee. There's only been 7 games. 13 wide receivers against Tennessee have crossed this 64-yard mark, and Pittman himself has done it 4 times. I have Pittman at 74, 10 yards over the over. This will be involved in many of my props. Along with that, not my absolute favorite, but Carson Wentz over 245 passing yards. Tennessee, as I've mentioned, gives up a ton of yards through the air. That's 291 it translates to the quarterback. They've allowed 5 quarterbacks this season to cross 245, and Wentz has done it 3 times. He's been down lately, but like I mentioned, it was a bad weather game last week. I'm expecting a rebound. I actually think this is kind of low. I have him at 270 in my projections. Probably my favorite quarterback prop of the week is Daniel Jones over 244 yards. Now, this is on Monday night, so if you don't want to wait, you may want to put this in a separate prop from your big one, but Daniel Jones over 244 yards against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are giving up 285 per game. The Chiefs have allowed this 5 times. Jones has done it 4 times, and I believe they were all consecutive. I have Jones projected at 321 yards, smashing this over. Easy one. I like to pair this with the Michael Pittman prop in a lot of mine. Number 4 is going to be Diontae Johnson taking on the Cleveland Browns over 66 receiving yards. The Browns are giving up 174 yards to the receiver every week. 8 wide receivers have crossed this 66-yard mark. The Browns secondary should have been good, but they're getting beat up. And what's even better, the Browns are almost a funnel defense where it's hard to run against them, so teams have to pass. I think Johnson smashes this week. I actually think Chase Claypool smashes this week as well. Johnson's hit this number 4 times already on the season. I have him at 74 yards, almost 10 yards over the over. And number 5 this week, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little scared about this one. It's Tyler Lockett taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, 46 receiving yards. Jacksonville gives up 193 to the receiver. They've done this. They've allowed this 8 times. But we all know there's also another wide receiver on this team, DK Metcalf. They've allowed 2 wide receivers to hit this, I believe, 5 times this season. Lockett has only hit this number 3 times and not once with Geno Smith. And that's where my worry is. In my projections, I have this as a big over, 65 yards, 20 yards, over the over. So I feel good about Lockett. So check out that prop lobby. Those are my favorite 5 this week. Make any combination of those you want. Find some of your own. There's a Jalen Reagor prop where he only has to get 30 yards. So there's a lot of value to be had there. And just remember, the multiplications are up just for this week. 2-player props are paying 4 times your money. 3-player props are paying 7 times your money. And 4-player props are paying 12 times your money. Check the link in the description. They'll match your opening deposit up to $100 if you use our code CLUB, CLUB. I'll also have Chris Molina's link for his article in the description as well. And that's it. Remember, in the prop lobby, we're not competing against each other. You can win. I can win. Let's go get that money. Have a great weekend.